Namaste. Crystal Rose Hines here. I am here to guide you through a flow. At home, you may not have blocks, but if you have maybe like a thick or a couple of thick books, anything that brings the earth closer up to you, you might need that throughout practice. Maybe you don't. Maybe you need a pillow for Shavasana or to lay down underneath your knee during any poses where our knees are on the earth. I'm so excited to guide you through this flow. It will be a lot of inner hips, inner lines of legs work today. We will get started. We'll get started in a wide-legged child's pose. So you will bring your toes together and your knees will be wide. And then you'll just begin to walk your hands out in front of you. I like to keep my knees at least max distance width, but sometimes maybe even a little bit more to get really into that inner line of the legs is fine too. And then if the forehead doesn't touch the earth, you're welcome to bring a block or a pillow underneath the forehead. And then just begin to really take some deep breaths here, really arriving onto your mat. Breathing in and out through the nostrils. Maybe you begin to include a ujjayi breath, that oceanic breath. As you breathe in and out through the nostrils, you're constricting the back of the throat, making like a oceanic sound, as if you're fogging a mirror. Warming the body from the inside out. Allowing the breath to be long and strong. Throughout class today, I ask you to allow the breath to be the anchor to your present moment. Allowing any thoughts or emotions that may pop up throughout class to simply arrive and then simply float away like a cloud in the sky. Not having thoughts about your thoughts or not dwelling on your thoughts, just simply noticing and then releasing. Here in this first grounding pose, can you begin to tune into the space that you're taking up here? The arms are out in front of you, the hands are out wide. You're creating space in the hips here. Connecting to the space element around you. It's all that is vast and boundless. It's both isolated and connected. Kind of like how we are today. We may be physically isolating, but that doesn't mean we're not socially a community, virtually a community. So as you begin to tune into that space element around you, it's all that you hear, right? It's the space that allows sound to travel. So sound is connected to space, to that space element. So what do you hear around you? Maybe you hear your partner or your child or your dog walking around. Maybe you are playing some beautiful music. You're hearing your breath. You're hearing my voice. Just notice. Here, as you begin to connect to that sound, that space element around you, can you connect to the spaces between your breath? That sacred pause at the top of the inhale. And then that sacred pause at the bottom of the exhale. Can you begin to elongate those pauses between the breath? As you begin to tune into the sound element within the breath, can you tune into the sound element within the mind? The space element within the mind. Finding the spaces between your thoughts. As you create the space between your inhales and your exhales, can you create spaces between each and every thought that pops up? Not dwelling on the thought, but dwelling in the spaces between the thoughts. The sacred pause, the sacred silence. Take one more deep inhale here. Take a deep exhale. Begin to roll yourself forward, coming into your tabletop. You'll begin to stack your shoulders over your wrists, your hips over your knees. Just taking a few moments to kind of get into this tabletop. Finding any final movements or fidgets that you need to get out of the way before we find our cat-cows. Coming into our cat-cows, you'll drop the belly, you'll open the heart, you'll lift the gaze. And then as you exhale, you'll press the earth away, rounding the spine. Really pressing into the earth, feeling the shoulder blades press away from one another, dropping the head, dropping the tailbone. Inhales, you rock forward. Exhales, you round. Continuing like this, inhales into your cow. Exhale as you round. And then maybe you close the eyes and begin to move intuitively. Maybe you need more cat-cows, or maybe you need to find some kidney squeezes, bringing your right shoulder towards your right hip, and then vice versa. Maybe you need to shake the head, yes and no. Maybe you need to tap the feet on the ground. Whatever the body is calling for, can you begin to tune in and notice what you need? Learning how to listen to the body. Give yourself another 2 breaths here to just kind of even out if you're doing anything that's one-sided. And then we'll come back through center. We'll begin to build some heat now. So can you tuck your toes, pressing into your palms, just lift the knees just a tiny bit off the earth here. You're pressing the hands down towards the feet and the feet down towards the hand. It's isometric. You're not actually moving the hands. You're just beginning to bring everything to your core. Everything into the navel. Can you bring the navel up into the spine? Can you begin to tune into the sensation? Tune into the core, the thighs, as they begin to speak a little bit loudly, right? Can you listen to them? And then exhale, gently drop the knees, drop the belly, open the heart. Lift the gaze. Exhale as you press the earth away, rounding the spine. We'll do that once more. So tucking the toes, lifting the knees. You're welcome to stay here. If you want a little bit more fire, you'll bring that left knee to left elbow. And then you'll send it back. Connecting movement to breath. Exhale, right knee, right elbow. Press it back. And then you can continue alternating like that, or you can hold it here in this, this table here with the knees hovering. Or if you're feeling like, you know what, I don't need my thighs to be burning right now, you're welcome to find cat-cows. We're here for another 4 breaths, so breathe. Connect to your power center, your solar plexus chakra, that area right above the navel, that area of willpower and strength. Can you hold on? Can you breathe deep? Can you be here now? One more deep inhale. Exhale, drop your knees, drop your belly, open your heart, lift your gaze. Exhale as you press the earth away. Beautiful work. You'll begin to step the right foot back and the left foot back. You're just coming into your plank here. Here in this plank, we're just holding for a moment, stacking our shoulders over our wrist. We're pressing through the heels, the navel's into the spine. And then you're lifting the area between the shoulder blades up towards the sky. The neck is long. Breathe deep. And then bend the knees. Send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Taking a moment here in this down dog to walk it out, bending into one knee and then the other. Just noticing how your down dog feels today. Probably feels different than it did 2 weeks ago. Probably feels a lot different than it will at the end of class, right? When we're a little bit more warmed up. Take a moment here. Finding your stillness. You want all 10 fingers pressing into the earth. You're externally rotating the upper arm bones as the insides of the elbows try to face a tiny bit forward. You're sending your hips up and back. The heels are melting down towards the earth. They don't have to touch, but that's where you're sending them. The hips are going up and back. You're breathing deeply. And then we're going to find some plank rolls. So We're gonna roll forward like an angry cat. As we come up into our plank, our head will come last. And then we'll bend the knees, shift the hips back, then up, downward facing. We'll do a few more like that. So round forward into your plank, building some heat here, and then exhale, send the hips back, then up, drop the head. 2 more like that, round forward. Beautiful work here, and then send the hips up and back. 1 last time, round forward. And then instead of sending the hips up and back, we're going to come all the way down to our bellies, but maybe your knees need to come down, maybe they don't. You'll shift the shoulders a tiny bit forward, you'll bend at the elbows, and you'll come all the way down. You're going to bring your hands by your low ribs, your elbows are going to be in by your side, tucking them in. Untuck your toes. You're pressing into the tops of the feet so much that the knees may come to a hover. You're pressing your hip points down into the earth. Pressing into your hands, you're going to peel the heart open just a little bit. Baby Cobra. Breathing in and out through the nose, connecting to your breath. Exhale, release down. And we'll move with breath. Inhale, peel halfway up into this little baby cobra, and then exhale, release. 1 more like that. Inhale, peel up. And then maybe this time the hands come to a hover. You're rolling your shoulders down and back. 1 more inhale, and then exhale, release down. You're welcome to press up straight into your plank or come through tabletop. So you'll tuck the toes, send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Here in this down dog, we're going to walk the feet to the hands, finding a fold at the top of the mat. Here at the top of the mat, you'll have a generous bend to your knees at first. You'll bring your torso towards the thighs. You'll drop the head. Your hands can stay on the earth. You can have your hands on blocks or on books, whatever you have. Maybe you grab opposite elbows, coming into a ragdoll. Maybe you shake the head yes and no. I love to invite movement, so shifting the weight forward and back, just kind of getting to know the different hamstring fibers and just noticing that these micro shifts make a difference. So maybe you learn how to shift a little bit today. Shifting the weight and shifting your energy. Can you shift your energy from any kind of fear-based emotions to love-based emotions? Can you take this time to love yourself and thank yourself for making it to your practice? Thank yourself for all the connections you have. Showing yourself some appreciation for the moon in the sky, the sun in the sky. Can you just breathe here? Maybe bring a smile to your face. Release your bind. Inhale, lift halfway. Your hands will come to your shins. You'll roll your shoulders back, almost like a cow pose here. And then exhale, surrender down. Inhale, lift halfway. I like to imagine my feet pressing down and away from one another, activating my outer glutes. And then exhale, release down. 1 more time like that. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. Your arms will sweep up overhead. Your hands will touch. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, find your fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Shoulders roll back. Exhale, plant your hands. Step or jump back. You can add a vinyasa here. You can come down onto your knees like we did for the first one, coming into a baby cobra. Or maybe you shift forward. You bend at the elbows halfway. You untuck your toes, you straighten your arms upward facing, and then downward facing as you send the hips up and back. Beautiful work. Remembering that you can always skip vinyasas, you can hold a plank to build a little bit more core power, or maybe you find a child's pose, or we just meet in down dog. Always your choice. We're going to go through one traditional sun A here, so take a deep inhale. As you exhale, hopper step to the top of the mat. Fold. Inhale is halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. Your arms will sweep up overhead. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, find your fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, step or jump back, adding your version of your vinyasa here. Chaturanga as you exhale, inhale, upward facing, downward facing. Beautiful work. So we're going to take this into a different type of Sun A than usual. So this time, you're going to step the right foot to the outside of the right hand and the left foot to the outside of the left hand. So you're coming into this Malasana squat. So your hips are open here. We're going into the inner lines of the legs again, right? Your knees and your feet are going in the same direction. You want your hands to your heart. You're pressing your heart forward. You're pressing your knees into your elbows and your elbows into your knees. You're pressing your heart forward. You're relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. Take a moment here. You stay where you are. I'm going to the side view here. So next from here, our halfway lifts are going to be bear pose. So we're going to interlace the fingers. We're going to press the palms forward as we lift the hips halfway, really using the thigh muscles here. Breathing deeply, and then exhale, sink it back low. Beautiful work. And then as we inhale, we're going to press into our feet, and then we're going to really use our legs as we reach the arms overhead. And then as we exhale, we'll bring our hands to our heart, toe heeling the feet to hip distance. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, find your fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, step or jump back, adding a vinyasa or skipping it here. Your choice. Chaturanga, upward facing, downward facing. We'll do another one like that. Left foot this time plant to the outside of the left hand, right foot to the outside of the right. Sink the hips low, Malasana squat. Inhale, lift halfway. Your hands come out in front of you as you lift the hips halfway. Bear pose. Exhale, sink the hips, Malasana. Inhale, power through the legs as you reach up. Exhale, hands to your heart center, walking the feet in. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, step or jump back, adding your version of your vinyasa. I'm going to hold this plank, but maybe you chaturanga as you exhale, upward facing as you inhale, downward facing as you exhale. We'll all meet in this down dog. Inhale, right leg will reach back behind you. As you exhale, you'll plant that foot to the outside of the right hand. You'll bring that left knee down to the earth, coming into an early lizard lunge here. So just letting go of any expectations of what this pose should look like. When we tend to do this pose at the end of a power class, we can get a little bit deeper. So just know that it's okay to be where you are, because that's where you're meant to be. You're on the front of the back kneecap, so you don't want to be directly on it. You're on this little meaty part in front. The front knee is over that front ankle. You can stay up on your hands can be on blocks, or maybe you're pretty open already, so you can bring your hands down or your elbows down to the earth or to blocks. Just begin to breathe here. We're going to come back to this shape quite a bit. Like I said, we're getting into the inner lines of the legs. That's where the kidney meridians run, and that's what's in charge of the fear-based emotions. When these meridians are blocked, we feel stuck. We feel stuck in fear. So we're going to try to allow the chi to flow through the inner lines of the legs here, connecting to love-based energies throughout class. So I'll probably ask you to think of something you're grateful for throughout class. Can you think of one right now? Whatever it is, allow it to bring a smile to your face. Breathe deep. Begin to walk your hands up. And then from this lizard lunge, we're going to come into an active lizard lunge. So you're going to tuck the back toes, lift that knee off of the earth. You're pressing through that back heel. You're connecting to that left hip flexor, the front of that left thigh, the top of it here. And then you're going to find a little bit of movement. I'm going to use blocks. Maybe you don't need to. Maybe you can tent the fingertips or use a pillow or something. As you exhale, you're going to straighten the front leg, coming into this extended pyramid. And then inhale, you'll rock forward. Exhale, extended. Inhale, rock forward, lizard. Exhale, straighten, pyramid. Connecting to the hamstring, and then you're rocking forward, connecting to the left hip flexor. Just breathing here, connecting your movement with your breath, warming the body up. One last time, straighten. And then one last time, come into that lizard. So from this lizard, we're going to come into our Malasana squat. So just make sure that your front foot is far enough out to the right. And then you're going to hop the left foot up into your Malasana squat. Sink the hips low. Hands to your heart. Inhale, lift halfway. Bear pose. Exhale, down. We're going to do actually a few of these. So inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, come down. Inhale, bear. Exhale, Malasana. Inhale, bear. Using the power of your legs, can you really dig deep into your glutes? Can you feel your glutes work here? Just two more. Halfway up, bear pose. Exhale, release. One last time, bear. Hold here. Reach the arms out in front. Really breathe. Maybe you pulse a little bit, and then back down to your Malasana. Beautiful work. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to your heart as you walk the feet in. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Maybe you close your eyes. I'm switching my position. You stay where you are. Inhale, lift the arms overhead. Exhale, find your fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, the left leg presses back behind you. Inhale, windmill up to a T. That's why I switched spots, so that I could face you. Beautiful work here. Can you bring that front heel in line with the back arch? Can you press into your feet and then press them down towards one another, lifting that pelvic floor, bringing the navel into the spine? The arms are reaching in either direction here. You can gaze at the front middle finger, but maybe you close your eyes. Connecting to the power of this pose. As the sensation begins to rise, can you think of one naturey thing that you're grateful for, whether it be the ocean, the lakes, or the trees? Breathe deep. Flip the front palm, reverse your warrior, reaching the arm up and overhead. Straighten the front leg. Your hands will come to your hips. You're going to bring your toes or your heels in and your feet out. We're going to come into our goddess squat, so just begin to sink your hips low. Maybe you walk side to side. I love to rock side to side when I first get into this pose, trying to get yourself a little bit deeper. Your hands can come to your heart center. Building the inner strength of the legs here. Building your inner strength, period. Take a deep breath in here. Deep breath out. As you inhale, press into the legs, 5-pointed star, arms reach out. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, 5-pointed. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, 5-pointed. Exhale, goddess. Last one, 5-pointed star, reach out. And then last goddess here as you sink your hips low. We'll hold here for a moment. Maybe you stay here, maybe you come onto the ball mounds of the feet. I'm coming back down. Breathe here for 3, 2, 1. Straighten the legs. Arms will come back out to a T. You're going to come back into that warrior 2. The right feet will point forward. Back foot is grounded. Flip the front palm. Reverse your warrior. Windmill down to the earth. You're going to step back into your plank, so the right foot will meet the left foot. Beautiful work here. And then you can add a vinyasa here. You can hold a plank. If you're vinyasing, you're shifting the shoulders forward. You're bending at the elbows halfway, chaturanga. And then flipping over the toes, straightening the arms, upward facing dog. Opening the heart, and then sending the hips up and back, downward facing. Breathe here in this downward facing dog. Take a moment. Getting back into the inner lines of the legs here. We're going to lift that left leg back behind you. You're going to plant that foot to the outside of the left hand. Coming into that lizard lunge. You're welcome to come into that passive lizard at first, of course. Like we did on the other side. Maybe you're bringing a block to your hands. Or maybe you're bringing your elbows down to a block. And then again, maybe you double check front knee over front ankle. You're on the front of that back kneecap. Maybe you need to soften it by bringing a pillow underneath. And then get to your desk. Remembering to let go of expectations, right? You're not going to look exactly the same in this pose than at the end of like a 90-minute heated power vinyasa. So just know that where you are is okay. Tuning into the hips, the inner groin, hip flexor. Just begin to breathe into this entire area, breathing, connecting. Allowing only nice thoughts to flow through you. Can you be kind to yourself? Take one more deep inhale. A deep exhale. Slowly begin to press your way out of this pose. We're going to come into that active lizard lunge here. So maybe your hands will come up to your block. You're going to tuck your back toe. You're going to press through that back heel. And then you'll connect here. Just connecting to that right hip flexor. Breathing deeply. And then we'll find that movement. So exhale, you'll straighten the front leg, finding this extended pyramid pose. Dropping the head down. And then rock forward into your lizard. As you inhale, press the heart forward. Exhale, runner, or pyramid. Inhale, forward. Exhale. Connecting your movement with your breath, warming up the body here. Just a few more. Two more here. Last runners. And then we're going to find that Malasana squat at the top of the mat. So you can move any props out of the way. Make sure your left foot is wide enough, and you'll hop that right foot to the outside edge of the mat. Sink the hips low. Breathe here. Your hand will come to your heart center. You'll press your heart forward. Then we're going to find some more of those bear squats. You're welcome to stay here if you prefer to just open up the inner lines of the legs, or maybe you do want some heat. So to join me, you'll interlace your fingertips. You'll send the hands out, lift the hips halfway. Exhale, sink low. Inhale, bear pose. Exhale, Malasana. Bear, Malasana. You got this. Bear, Malasana. Bear, Malasana. Woo, you got it. Two more. Bear pose, Malasana pose. Last bear pose, we'll hold bear. Ooh, feeling the lines of the legs, really begin to activate, feeling the thighs, reaching the hands forward, exhale, back down, Malasana squat, you got this. We'll inhale, press to the feet, reach the arms overhead, exhale, walk the feet in, hands come to your heart. Take a moment here, breathe deeply, close your eyes. Inhale, sweep up. Open the eyes, arms reach up overhead. Exhale as you fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, the right leg goes back behind you this time. Coming into that warrior two on this side. Windmill the arms up to a T. Again, front heel in line with back arch. You're sinking your hips low. Eventually you want this front thigh to be parallel to the earth below you. Your arms are reaching in either direction. Can you feel the outer edge of that back foot begin to ground into the earth? Now feel the power of this pose. Feel the fierceness of this pose. As the sensations begin to rise, can you stay present? Can you think of an animal that makes you happy? Maybe a baby animal of any sort. Feel the gratitude begin to rise just as much as the sensation in the front thigh. Smile deeply. Inhale, reverse, flip the front palm. Arm reaches up and then back. You're keeping that bend in the front knee. And then you'll straighten the front leg. Your hands will come to your hips. And we'll come back to that goddess squat. So heels in, toes out. We're going to sink the hips low. Our hands can come by our thighs, they can come to our heart center. It's really your choice. We're not going to be here for as long as last time. So just take a moment to sink a little bit low. Straighten the legs. This time you'll bring your toes in and your heels out, coming into this wide-legged straddle fold, folding down. Your hands can come to the earth. They can come to opposite elbows. Yogi's choice. This whole practice is yogi's choice. So just really begin to breathe here. Feel the torso cascade between the legs. You can shake the head yes and no. Maybe you find a little bit of movement, or maybe you stay in stillness. We'll begin to bend into the left knee, coming into Skandasana. We're just going to go through left to right a few times, just opening up the hips here. To the right, to the left. Maybe you walk your hands, or maybe you're able to bring your hands to heart center and just flow from side to side. Your choice. You can flow fast, you can flow slow, whatever feels good in your body today. Maybe you don't even want to do this. It's your choice. Maybe you want to hold that wide-legged fold. It's all the way up to you. Just 2 more on each side here. You've got this. One last one to the front, and then one last one to the back. And then from here, you'll come back to your wide-legged straddle. Take a moment. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Hands will come to your waist. Bring the navel into the spine as you lift halfway. And then come all the way up to standing. And we'll find that warrior 2 once again. Front toes go out forward. Back heel is grounded. Arms go out to a T. And then flip the front palm. Reverse your warrior. Windmill down. Framing the front foot, you'll press back into your plank. You can add your vinyasa here, or maybe you just press it downward facing dog. Chaturanga, upward facing, downward facing. Breathing deeply. Inhale, right leg will sweep back behind you. Exhale, come into that lizard lunge. Right foot to the outside of the right hand. Exhale, straighten the front leg. Coming into that pyramid pose. Back into that runners. Hop into your Malasana squat. Left foot comes up. Sink the hips low. We'll do 3 bear poses. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, come back down. Inhale, bear. Exhale, Malasana. Last one, bear pose. Hold here. Feel the sensation begin to rise. Feel the leg muscles begin to activate. Down into your Malasana. Using all the powers into your legs. Reach up, straighten the legs. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, left foot plants back behind you. Windmill up to your warrior 2. Sink the hips. Reverse your warrior. Flip the front palm, arm reaches up. Exhale, straighten the front leg. Inhale up as your hands come to your waist. You'll come into your goddess squat. Sinking the hips, heels in, toes out. We'll just do 1 star pose. Reach up. Exhale, goddess. Come back into that warrior 2. Right foot forward. Back foot is heels planted. Flip the front palm, reverse. Exhale, windmill down. Coming back into your plank, adding your vinyasa or skipping it, shifting forward. Chaturanga to upward facing, downward facing. Breathe deeply. Inhale, left leg. Exhale, lizard lunge. As you inhale, press the heart forward. Exhale, find your pyramid. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, pyramid. Last one, rock forward. Coming into that Malasana squat, right foot comes up to the front. Sink the hips low, breathe deep. Inhale, lift halfway. Bear pose, exhale, Malasana. Bear, Malasana. Whew, you've got this one. Last one, bear pose, Malasana. Inhale, reach the arms up, hands begin to reach up as the toe heel in. Inhale, exhale. Whew, you've got this. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, find your fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, right leg sweeps back behind you. You're coming into your warrior two. Windmill the arms up. Find your balance. Breathe deep. Flip the front palm, reverse your warrior. And then straighten the front leg. Hands will come to your hips. You'll find your wide-legged straddle. Toes in, heels out. Drop down. Hands can come down to the earth. We're just passing through here. Bend into the left knee, Skandasana. And then bend into the right knee, Skandasana. Come back through center. Find your fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Hands come to your hips, lift halfway. Lift all the way. Find your warrior two. Front toes, pivot back, forward. Arms reach out. Flip the front palm, reverse. Windmill down. Framing the front foot, step back. Adding or skipping your vinyasa here, your choice. I'm going to hold a plank as your vinyasa in chaturanga as you exhale. Flipping over the toes, straightening the arms, upward facing as you inhale. And then downward facing as you exhale. Beautiful work here. Inhale, right leg will reach back behind you. Exhale, plant the foot. Inhale, windmill up to your warrior two. Sink the hips, breathe deep. Windmill, or reverse your warrior. Windmill down. Frame the front foot, step back. Adding your vinyasa here, skipping it. Chaturanga, upward facing, downward facing. Inhale, left leg reaches. Exhale, plant the foot between the hands. Windmill up, warrior two. Reverse your warrior, flip the front palm. Exhale, windmill down. Coming back into that vinyasa here. Shifting forward, bending at the elbows. Rolling over the toes, straightening the arms, downward facing. Z-pike the hips up and back. We're going to jump into our Malasana squat. Maybe you have to step there, that's okay. Take an inhale to prepare. Exhale, hop into your Malasana. Sink the hips low. Breathe here. Inhale, lift halfway, bear pose. Exhale, release down. Inhale, lift halfway, bear. Exhale, down. You got this. Inhale, bear pose, hold here. Maybe you find a little bit of pulsing. Feeling the thigh muscles begin to really burn here. Can you breathe deeply? Can you feel the sensation begin to rise? You got this. And then Malasana squat. Press into the feet, stand up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Walk the feet in. Inhale, root to rise, arms sweep up overhead. Exhale, find a fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step back. Or jump back. Your vinyasa if you choose to take it. I'll be holding here in plank as you vinyasa if you choose to do so. Maybe you're in child's pose. We'll all meet in downward facing dog. We're going to go a little bit deeper into our lizard pose. Right leg sweeps back behind us. Exhale, plant that foot to the outside of the right hand. And then we're going to come down, finding that passive lizard pose. Begin to either bring this foot out to like a 2 o'clock, or you can keep it in. This way you get into the inner lines of the right leg a little bit more. Maybe your hands are on blocks, or maybe they're on the earth, maybe your elbows come down. Really your choice here. Just make sure that your knees and your feet are going in the same direction. And then you can stay here. If you want, you can add a quad stretch, so you'll bend that left knee, and you'll reach the right hand up and over to grab the foot. Bringing that foot into the heel, or the heel into the butt, sorry. Breathe deeply here. allowing the breath to flow. If this pose is hard for you, think of one thing that you love that sparks joy into your heart. Either way, think about something that sparks joy. Just a couple more breaths. Slowly begin to make your way out of this pose, releasing that hand out in front of you. Bring your hands back down onto the earth. You'll begin to tuck the left toes, press back into your plank. You can add a vinyasa if you choose to. If you're not sweaty enough, send the hips up and back. We'll all meet in downward facing wherever you are. And then we'll come into that lizard lunge on this side. Lift the left leg, plant the left foot to the outside, the left hand, sink that right knee down to the earth. You're welcome to pat it. Again, taking it to your depth. Your toes can go to a 10 o'clock now. You're on the outer edge of the front foot if you'd like. Maybe you come down onto your elbows, maybe you come all the way down to the earth. Whatever feels comfortable here. You can take it a little bit deeper this time, but make sure that you're not going too deeply because we are holding it for a few breaths here, right? That you can inhale that left arm back behind you and grab that right foot. Breathe into your shape. If random thoughts begin to pop up, that's okay. Don't judge them, don't dwell on them, just notice. Notice and let them float away. Maybe if one of those thoughts brings you tons of joy, maybe you dwell on it for an extra second and then let it float away. Begin to release that leg, come back through center. Your hands will come down to the earth, you'll tuck your back toes, you'll press back to your downward facing dog. And then you'll bring your knees down. You'll come onto your back. Hugging your knees into your chest, we'll find a happy baby. I'm going to call this child's pose, which kind of is, right? Your knees are out wide. Take a moment here. I like to grab the outsides of the knees so that my tailbone is pressed into the earth. But you're welcome to grab the outside edges of the feet. But if your tailbone begins to come off of the earth, press it back down. Relax your shoulders closer down to the earth as well. Take a moment here. Maybe rock side to side. And this is a joyous pose, right? Happy baby. Can you just imagine being so blissfully unaware and happy right now? Connecting to that bliss body within you. We all inherently have access to pure happiness. Can you tap into it? Tap into all the love-based energies within you. I like to bring the soles of my feet together, so maybe you try this as a reclined butterfly, sending my knees out wide, bringing my feet towards my pelvis. Take a moment here. You'll hug the knees into your chest. You'll drop the knees over to the left. Arms will come out to a T, finding a simple supine twist. You'll gaze over to the right as the knees are to the left. Tune into your breath here. Come back through center. Find the opposite twist. Knees over to the right. Gaze over to the left. Take a moment here. Feel the gentle twist. The gentle massage of the inner organs. Take another deep inhale here. Stay for the exhale. Slowly come back through center. And then begin to make your way into your final resting pose, whatever that may be. Maybe you find a Supta Baddha Konasana, reconnecting to the inner lines of the legs, and maybe you bring blocks underneath the knees. You're welcome to find a traditional Shavasana pose with the legs out long and your arms down by your side. You're welcome to find legs up the wall, whatever feels good. And then just begin to get the final fidgets out of the way, right? We all have those little oh, I'm itchy here, I need to relax this. Can you just begin to feel out where they are and then just fully relax? Send your breath to those areas that want to fidget. Send your breath to those areas that are holding tension, and just begin to let go. Let go of tension in the body, but also in the mind. Don't resist the silence of Shavasana. Can you be here now? Can you begin to relax the body from the head to the toes? Feeling the crown of the head relax down, the back of the skull. Relaxing the jaw, closing the eyes. Relaxing the throat. Can you feel as your chest begins to relax down into the earth below you? Taking up space here, can you feel your arms out wide? Can you feel them begin to grow heavy? Noticing that the density of the arms are growing and growing, getting heavier and heavier, melting into the earth below you. The entire torso begins to relax down. You feel as the rib cage, the belly, and the organs all begin to soften and grow heavy. The hips grow heavy. The thigh bones begin to grow denser and denser as all the muscles around the thigh bones begin to release down into the earth below you. The knees soften. The shins and the calf soften down. Can you begin to breathe into the feet as the feet begin to surrender into the earth? As you inhale, breathe fresh prana into the body. Fill the body with gratitude and love. And then as you exhale, release your body to the earth as you release stagnant energy and the things that don't serve. One more like that. Breathe in deeply. Breathe in all of these loved base energies. And then exhale. Shift away from any low vibrational thoughts. And just surrender the body into the earth below you. Shavasana. Take a deep inhale and a cleansing exhale. Begin to invite some movements in the fingers and the toes, your wrist and your ankles. Take a little bit of time to kind of get the knees into your chest slowly as if you're moving through honey. And here with the knees in your chest, can you give yourself a nice big hug? Can you begin to thank yourself for making it to your practice today, for truly arriving on your mat, and for shifting from any type of stress into a space of love and gratitude and appreciation. Maybe here on your back, can you think of 3 things that you truly love, that truly always spark joy? Can you bring a smile to your face? Take a deep inhale and a deep exhale. You can rock into seated however you'd like. Maybe you come through a fetal position. Maybe you roll up. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste.